I feel like I had to make a video on this, and I don't think I'm gonna turn this into no review of every episode, but The Shy season 7 came out. And I've been watching The Shy since season 1 when it first came out. And season 1, season 2, season 3, caught my attention, but after season 3, it started to go downhill because of all, the influences from the mainstream media, but it became woke. And it became wokety woke. But it had a higher quality of, I guess, budget, and the storytelling started to get super weird. It was kind of right after that season when old girl got kidnapped, Keisha. And I might butcher some of their names because it's, this show, it's not in front of my head all the time. Like, there's literally nothing on TV like talking about to watch. So I'm gonna watch The Shy because I have no other choice. BMF is coming back. Raising Kanan just wrapped up. So I'm gonna watch The Shy, but I don't think I'm gonna be making review videos on it. But I just had to make this video because it is ridiculous that these writers for The Shy, just don't seem to get it. You had Bakari talking to the professor, literally right after, he interviewed for the scholarship, and he was like, nah, I don't think she likes me. And then he's like, well, you got in, and he's all shocked. It's like, okay, maybe you could play on that. And, you trying to psych the professor out. But that wasn't meant for that. It's just, he could have been like, hey, I think it went well. I made an impression. It's, God, I don't, I'm moving on. I see why Kevin wanted to leave this show. Everyone's happy Duda's dead. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm happy that he's dead, but I'm happy that, he's dead in the sense of it progressed the story. Because Duda was getting stale. Some other things from this episode is, I don't know, what's Iman Shepard's character name? I'm drawing a blank. Whatever, I forgot what his character name is. But he dies. Well, he died last season, like last episode. So they killed him off the show. I don't know if that was for story. It seemed like it didn't need to happen. Because, he actually had, a big, not too big of a part in the show. But whenever he got on the screen, he never had any, like, boring moments. You know what I'm saying? He was able to get his lines off or whatever. He was a mid-tier character, I would say. But then they go to the other guy, Zay, because, he's being blamed for that murder. But then you have the Snowfall Mom syndrome. He's about to say something important, and then boom, 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 she kills him because, what? Are they, is Hollywood trying to say black women are impatient? It's every show. I mean, y'all literally took that plot line, and it's stupid. But then you're gonna give the guy you gave the scholarship to. God, what is his name? I can't think of his name. But you give him the scholarship, and you know he knows that, oh boy, who's the baby father, which is ridiculous. He actually is the one that killed Shepard. So what's going to happen is you give him the scholarship. He owes you his life. You're just going to make him kill. I think the guy's name is Trig. You're going to make him kill Trig. No, not Trig. I'm sorry. His name is not Trig. Yeah. It's Trig. You're going to make him kill him, and that's going to be like the season ender. So, I mean, do we even need to watch season 7 of The Chi? Like, do we really need to watch this? Like, man, I just don't know. It's like, where's the story? Then you have Victor and Fatima fussing. She left all last season for her to come back and leave again. It's like, is this, let her leave. He's saying, oh, I love Chicago, blah, 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 blah. Man, this dude wants to be in the streets so bad. Like, come on. He wants to be in the street so bad. Y'all tried to change him into a politician, which I actually enjoyed that. He went from street to politician, and he was still being caught up in some of this street stuff. That made sense. He had a good character, but when he first appeared, I mean, he was real gangster. Nobody was playing with him. Nobody took him for a joke. I like that aspect of Victor. But now you have this church guy in the mix and all of that. And he, Fatima is like, oh, you need to change Chicago. How is he going to stop all of the violence in Chicago? And the crazy part, I didn't mind the aspect of her being trans. That part about how they went woke actually was done in a good way. Because they didn't just blast it on you. And they actually had a few episodes, kind of portraying it, and he didn't want to go to some of those LGBT clubs and stuff like that. But then you started killing it with us with the deaf chick and all of that. Like, y'all got mega woke and just ruined the show. And then you had Gemma and stuff doing it. It got so woke. I think it threw everybody just off. This season, I'm not sure, if they're going to keep going that route, but they usually do. Then you have Emmett. Now, Emmett, this guy should have a lot of money. He should have a lot of money. They have a lot of kids. Tiff has her kid. And in the episode, she needs a break. Come on, she just lost. I don't know if they was married. I don't know if that was her husband or not. I can't really remember. But even so, she just lost her baby's father. Emmett is pissed off that Keisha said they could take, Tiff's kid, which is actually Emmett's own kid, to stay with them And he's like, hey, we already got, 2 kids here and you're pregnant. How we gonna do this? Blah, blah, blah. Emmett owns a restaurant. And he was getting money. I think he might still have Duda's money that invested. So it's not like Emmett's poor. Also, the guy that took Duda's place is now in the mix. And I'm pretty sure if y'all was like hurting for money that bad, I mean, Emmett shouldn't even have to rely on him. Which is just crazy, bruh. I swear, like, he got so mad that you don't even want your own kid staying with y'all. Right after she lost her boyfriend. And that's your, ex who y'all have a kid with. It's like, who's writing this? And we know it wasn't, I mean, even if it's for a year, or, bro, it could be for forever. That's your kid. You don't even want to give Tiff a break to mourn. Like, I mean, y'all make these characters so stupid. I mean, anybody that's working and being a part of the Shy at this point is there for the check. This is probably going to be the last season, but I don't know who's still watching this thinking that this writing is great. Me personally, I'm only watching this because there's just nothing else that's a black show that's not just so gullible and stupid and, telling, that's not like a comedy that's just throwing out, BS jokes that's dumb. Like the House of Pain. It's like, come on. The Shy is the only kind of premium show, I guess you could call it, that we have to look forward to, but goddamn, is it stupid with some of this writing? You telling me you don't even want to take your own son in, who's a little kid? We ain't talking about, oh yeah, your son's 35. It's man, it's gonna be hard for me to get through this season. It is gonna be a ride. Half the time, I'm not even watching the TV. Like, I'm like scrolling through my phone to get rid of, boredom to sit through this. I mean, the Shy needs to go to 30 minutes. It needs to go to 30 minutes. I mean, sitting through a 1-hour episode of The Shy is painful. It is painful, but, luckily, we got BMF and possible, I don't know when Power's coming back, or what Power, book 3, or, not book 3, book 2. No one's watching Power book 4 Force. No one's watching that. I'm sorry. No one's watching that. But that's the Shy season 7 episode 1. God. If I'm bored, if y'all want me to do another rant review, I mean, I barely even reviewed this episode. I just had to speak on the wildness of the writers with the script and everything. Like, God, it is painful. It's like no one has common sense. But that's it. I gotta go. I can't even talk about this nonsense anymore.